I have come to the conclusion that I'm going to start making these little webcam video rant things a thing on my channel because I really enjoy ranting. And yes. So I recently a lot of things have been going on in my house, and just everything has kind of just like blown up. And I have kind of like this problem, I guess, where I get sad very easily. Um, I could just switch like that. Like I could be overly happy one second, then all of a sudden just like down. I guess, obviously some people would call it depression, but I'm kind of hesitant to label it as that because I know that so many people go through so much worse crap than I do, and I don't want my situation, like, I don't want to, what's the word? I don't want to kind of like put down their situation in a way by naming this thing that I can't really control depression because people go through so much worse crap than I do. And I feel like sometimes I don't have a reason to be sad. And I guess that's kind of what this whole video is about. My parents came up to me and they were just like, "You don't have a reason to be sad. Like, you don't deserve to be sad." And to hear to have to hear that just come out of a parent's mouth to me was kind of like, I know I don't deserve to be sad. I know that my parents are helping me in college. I have good friends. I honestly have everything I could want. I have food, I have shelter. I'm learning all these great things. And yeah, I get that technically I don't deserve to be sad. But that doesn't stop it. That doesn't stop my being sad at all because it's something, I guess, in the way that my brain was wired. My brain was wired to not let me be happy in a way. And obviously, I'm trying so hard to unwire it to make it think like, oh yeah, I do deserve happiness. Because that's the way my just had a little small epiphany. But that's the way my mind is wired. My mind is wired that I don't deserve to be happy because of things that have happened to me in the past, because of things that I might have said, because I'm so awkward and embarrassing around people, because I make mistakes. I don't deserve to be happy. And I know that there are so many people in this world that feel this way, that feel like they don't deserve to be happy. And I find that so sad. But I'll get to that point in a second. So my mother, she told me I don't deserve to be sad. And my mom has gone through a lot. And she went through a period where she was clinically depressed, and she went through a lot, and she was diagnosed out of it and everything. So she's like, you don't deserve to be depressed because I know what it's like. I know what it's like to have problems. And that just made me so angry. Like, yeah, you know what? I understand that you went through a ton of crap. That I don't know how it feels like to go through those things, but I don't realize, or I don't understand why they are putting down my problems because they are not as big to them as their own problems. We all have, what's the word? We all see things from our point of view. We do not, rarely will you find a person who will, oh God, I hate all these like awkward stuff that I have, but I'm sorry. But it's really rare where we see a person really looking at things from another person's perspective. That's the word I was looking for. Perspective. People don't really open their minds to anything that doesn't really affect them or interest them. Like, I've noticed this with my friends, I've noticed this with my parents. When something isn't of particular interest to them, they won't engage in conversation with you. They won't show any interest whatsoever because it is not directly affecting them. So to put down a person's problems because they are, in your mind, in your perspective, not as big as your own, is terrible. First of all, telling someone that their problems aren't justifiable. That's granted. I realize that sometimes some people just complain because complain and they seem like they have it all together. Like they have that. They're rich. They have a ton of money. They have a ton of clothes. They have good grades. Like everything seems to be going well for them. But that person doesn't know anything other than that. Oh, I just got it. Um, that person doesn't know anything other than that. So anything that alters that is going to be significant to them. Like maybe if they get a C or if they get a D in the class, like if they're used to getting good grades and then they don't, obviously that's going to be impacting for them. And for people who have gone through a lot of things, obviously that's just going to be like, why the heck are you freaking out about that? It's just a grade, like move on. But to them, that problem is so big because they haven't had anything else in their lives, like anything else that hurt them so much in a way. So I think as human beings, we need to realize that different problems affect people different ways. Like to me, getting a bad grade honestly wouldn't affect me so much as maybe someone rejecting me or looking at myself in the mirror or something like that. But to other people, like they might be fine with looking at themselves in the mirror, or even they might know how to deal with rejection. But maybe if they get a bad grade, or I don't know, I can't really think of anything else, but that'll impact them just the way as looking at myself in the mirror would impact me. This whole video is a ramble, and I'm really sorry about that, guys, but thank you for listening. I'm just really tired and annoyed of everybody putting each other's problems down because they are not as big as their own. It happens all the time around me, and I find it disgusting, honestly. I feel like we should all be compassionate and we should all want to help each other, even when the problems don't really seem that big to us. And this whole stigma that you can't be depressed because your situation is fine is bullcrap. Total bullcrap. Total bullcrap. Because sometimes it's the way our minds work. Most of the time it's the way our minds work, because sometimes our minds just legitimately do not let us be happy. Our minds are the most twisted thing on this planet. They can literally take anything that is beautiful and just twist it and manipulate it and form it into something dark and evil that'll just make you want to stay in bed for days. And my life was bad. Freshman year of high school, I was a totally different person. Physical wise, emotional wise, I guess I'll go more into that later. This is just a little rant. I feel like that should be an official video, but it's important. So, main concept of this first part is that yes, it is important to realize that people can have problems that are not the same as yours and still be affected the same way that you are by your problems. Simple as that. And then secondly, I don't remember what I was going to say secondly. About the problem. I don't think that we should be letting our problems define us. I don't think that I should be put in a category as the girl who hates herself or hates the way she looks, because that's not all of me. That is a big part, yes, but that is not everything I am. In our society today, we are really categorized by what our problems are and what we fight for. I don't think that. I think that we should be I don't think we should be labeled. I take that back. I think that we should just be seen as people with interests and problems different from everyone else's. My problems might be similar to someone else's, but they're not going to be the same. And I think that's something really beautiful about the human race, the fact that we have all these different thoughts and views about the world, and it's still in that we have the possibility to share them, and that most of the time it's okay to share them. We live in a society right now where speaking up is encouraged. Speaking your mind and standing up for what's right, it's encouraged. There are people, Ferguson for an example, there are people rioting for the basic rights of human beings. I don't even want to get started on that because I think that whole thing is just disgusting. But if you just like turn on the news today, you are going to get activists and movements that are being created to help people, basically. And while I think that some of them, for me, they're just like basic, like everyone should have that. Like, I don't get why we have to fight for this because people should already be having that. But I think it's awesome how people are standing up right now for what they want. This is my unicorn, guys. I'm so sorry that this is probably the world's randomest videos, but I really wanted to upload another video, and I just felt like I wanted to say this. And if you guys have any thoughts about it, you guys should leave comments below if you guys get to this part of the video, because that would be awesome, because I enjoy debates, and sometimes I'm really bad with my words and talking, but yeah, I really enjoy it a lot. So you guys should talk to me, please. And yeah, thank you for listening. And just love yourself, man. Just love yourself and love others. And if someone's a dick to you, fine, don't talk to them anymore. But don't stoop down on the level and be a dick to them either. Just be like, okay, man, that's cool, and just walk away. Don't give in to other people's dickness, because that's all they want. They want you to be a dick back to them, so they can be like, haha, that person's a dick too. Don't be a dick. Just don't be a dick. Bye, guys.